Apologize for how we met, bro. You caught me in like a surreal moment where I was kept looking across the street and I was like, yo, is that him? Nah, I'm bugging. That's not him. Is that him? Yo, so like I saw I know I was talking with my hands. I felt like I was signaling a plane and stuff like that. It was the energy, bro. I was excited.
There's nothing wrong with that, man.
Like, cool, bro, man. But yo, once again, I want to start off by saying thank you very much for your time, man. Thank you
My pleasure.
for what you gave to the role of Dru Tejada, man. Like, it, I really want to start off with what aspect of Dru Tejada was Lovell Adams-Gray? You know, like what aspect? Because I seen the interviews where you say you have to bring certain things in to make it come to life. So what aspect do you feel is synonymous with you?
I feel like I like to consider myself an intelligent person, so I felt like that's something that I brought to Dru was his intelligence. I just wanted to fill the space, right? Like, people considered him like enigmatic, a little bit quiet, the one who was going to be, um, get the job done, be observant. So I wanted to practice that myself and bring that to it. And just like my love for the art, of acting, he loves drawing, so I want to bring my passion and my love for acting to it.
Mm. So what
Mm.
do you actually draw? Are you like an artist?
No, no,
Oh,
no, not at all. Not at all.
okay, because that scene was real. That scene, like you looked like you was really creating something and zoned in. So I was like, maybe he really does this.
Oh, bro, you should have seen the result. It was just like me, like I went to learn how to draw. Like I took some like art classes, and I got a lot better at drawing, which was really cool to see. Like to see myself actually like be able to create something with my hands that you know
Nice.
um, I felt was the vision on what I had on the inside. I always felt like what's going on in here, it won't come out with my hands, but to see that actually be the case through those
Yes.
classes really helped. And I didn't know if I was going to be drawing for Dru at all or not. So, um, just to have that preparation, to be prepared.
Oh,
All right, okay,
oh,
I can do something.
so you go in when it comes to like a role.
Yeah, man, I try my best. Like I look, an actor prepares. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I want to make sure that when I go into a role that I um, can give it all that I can to have God use all my vessel, and I got to be a prepared vessel to do that. So um, whenever I like approach a role, or as I'm cast for something new, I try to immerse myself in. But I go from a very like heady place, like what do they know?
Mhm.
So what do I need to know that they know? That makes
Mhm.
sense. Yeah.
Like, because like I asked that because before season four premiered. Now we know how season three ended, man. Like you did Tariq dirty, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Family first, family first. But I ended up running into one of your clips online. It was called Damon,
Get the shit out of here! Ain't nobody eating today!
and
Mm.
I watched that, and I was like, I was looking at your portrayal, the way you did it in jail, and like the one thing about me when I watch things, I always say I watch things differently. So I was looking at it, and I was like, yo, this guy, the fact I seen this got to be a sign that he's going to jail this season. He got to prove that Poppy was right. Because at the end of the day, Poppy was the only one that out of everyone in the family that said, no, Dru has it in him. I see it in him. He's going to lead. And Kane was too busy trying to take over the spot to show that he had it too. But I think
Right.
that was like some Monet situation. My question, Dylan. Now I know that you've been asked the question a lot, like how you found out about the role, and but there was one thing about it that was interesting. You walked in there with the intent to be young Ghost, so you were acting the role out like I'm gonna get this Ghost role. So with that type of determination, you know him being the anchor of the show. Was there
Yeah.
any other role you felt like you could have did better? Like if it was a Tyreek or a Kane up there, which one do you feel like you could have bodied that role better?
Well, I would have had, I don't know about better, but I would have had a lot of fun also playing Kane because
Nice.
to watch Woody do it, he had so much fun and got to be so wild and free. And that's something that I really like. It make he brought something to it, like that natural play and the
Mhm.
joking nature of it.
Yeah.
I would have brought more of a cantankerous energy because I like to be a little shit, and I know that that's what I would have like had fun bringing to the role. So I don't know about better. I don't think I would have done it any better than Woody did because Kane is such a staple and an anchored character and such a wonderful character, such a
Yes.
beautiful, full, well-rounded character that he like. I tell him every time I see him, like you're incredible. Like just to see it, especially at the end of the season where when what happens with Monet and he like just gave it all. I was like,
Nah.
like just to see it, like I was like, yeah, like we're all in our perfect positions. But I remember saying in season one, I'm like, I would have another character I would have been interested in playing is Kane because I know that I have um, the energy of being like a big brother in my own life.
Yes.
And so to bring that to screen would have been fun. But we still got to play with those dynamics.
Yes, you did, bro.
Bro, I got to play with being a little bro to him and how being my little brother, how frustrated he is to be my little brother. So yeah, I don't know about better, but definitely like I don't think I could have done it any better than him. But I do think
Respect,
that
respect.
I would have had a different amount of fun with myself being
Mhm.
able to play a Kane. I have fun playing Dru too. But I know there was another aspect of me that wanted to come out that I would have gotten to exercise with Kane. Get to be that wild. I would have played him more like a wild gunslinger type. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I like that. I see
and I
it.
don't know if I'm being honest. I don't know if that probably would have made him one dimensional. You know what I'm saying? Like Woody brought this nuance and this like he cared so much about Kane that he brought so much depth to him, and I probably would have been like, "Ooh, get to bang guns," you know. So yeah,
Kane, yo, Woody did great with Kane. He drew on the not, no pun intended. He drew on the idea of like trying to impress your parents. Like from the first episode on, he was there to like, yo, mommy, I did good. Like that was like his thing. To the
yeah,
point that when he started feeling like they were looking at him like he was stupid, his character changed
yep.
dramatically. So I bring up that because did you notice, or was it just me, that the one season where like you were alone, like it really wasn't no love interest, it was just focused on the family, that's when that character of you developed, the one that Poppy always saw, like you were handling business in and out of jail,
Mhm.
like just for the idea of the family, like you saw 10 steps ahead. Like how do you feel about like that aspect in the change? Like
I think like Dru had the convenience of being distracted, right? He
hmm?
had he had one foot in and one foot out, and every time he had one foot in and one foot out, something had to get sacrificed. And so I think he realized by the fourth season that like, okay, if I'm going to be here, I'm going to be here. But now you're going to see the real me, right? Now you're going to see like what I'm capable of, and it's dangerous. And this is part of this is sometimes we're scared of like leaning into that part of ourselves because we don't know if we can ever get back.
That's interesting. That connects me with something that Ghost said. Oh, sorry, Amori Hadra. Amori said in an interview that people love the characters that y'all play, but they need to remember that it takes a little bit of reality in order to bring these characters to life. Like you said, to think about it, I played Ghost for years. I really got to be something like that to be this character. So that's why I was really interested this year to see the change in Dru. Like if you think about it, this season was really about Monet's kids and
Mm-hmm.
them coming into their own, because like you were running around from trying to set up Tariq, hide the fact you set up Tariq, protect your sister and the fact is hold the whole lie together, re get a chance to fall in love with your mom. Like you had so many emotional aspects of this character that you had to go through. What do you feel was your most challenging, and what do you feel was the most rewarding?
I definitely felt the um, wanting to get revenge on my mom being the most challenging aspect because it's my mom, and I definitely like from a story perspective, I'm like I kind of understand why she had to do what she had to do, and so it was really tough to put my personal feelings to the side, and my Lovell's empathy and Lovell's like, can we all just get along? Like, get that out of here and be like, no, this guy's going 100% because he really, believes in protecting the family. And, trying to just get into that headspace and stay in that headspace, you know, um, was, I feel, the biggest challenge. And then one thing I did that I feel like was successful was getting to be vulnerable with my family, getting to be like emotionally available for them. And, throughout the whole season and just getting to embody, those feelings and emotions and bring them out of my personal life and successfully do that on camera, which, so a lot of actors are like, I don't know if I can go there sometimes. And like, I was one of those being like, I don't know if I'm able to go there on, when the lights are on and the camera's rolling, but to be able to, get to that milestone for myself as an actor was a personal achievement.
Oh, that's amazing, bro. That's amazing, man. Because I like watching that development. Like just like I told you when like I ran up on you and your wife, man. And thanks again for stopping.
Of course.
I was like, yo, bro, this guy, his character snuck out of nowhere into
Mm.
this position of power where you really wasn't focused. Like he was like, yo, I need to be afraid of Kane at all times. And then you're like, nah, no, he handled business different. Nah, be afraid of
Yeah.
Dru. Be afraid of
Yeah.
Dru. So then the next thing I really wanted to get into is that with the development of your character and the fact that this is the ending, are you satisfied with how it ended for Dru?
I am. I am. Getting to go to Paris to do the art program, I was like, that's all I want. I was very happy and very satisfied with how things ended. And, for me, it was a happy ending.
um,
You never know like what could happen with these characters. And so, I was happy to be there at the end,
yeah,
not
yeah,
being killed off. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
always a surprise with Power. So yeah, like I was very pleased. I was very pleased with how things ended for him.
That's great because like the way they tell the story on the screen, like I know there's probably like a certain level of like a caste system in amongst the Power universe. Like they tell you maybe what you need to know before an episode. You don't get a chance to know everything above, but the way they told the story, like I was excited. I said the only way to take down Carter is you got to get Nico. You got to flip Nico. So when that episode ended and Nico got his feet kicked up and someone was dropping off the money, I was like, good. Dru got his position of power. And I was like, wait, it's not Dru. So so there was there another, like let's just say a chance that let's just say the story did continue. There's another season, which I kind of felt like there should have been another season or like another episode. Do you see yourself coming back from Paris, or do you want to explore the idea of you in this new life and the type of things that you will struggle with or jump into because you're now in a new place, knowing what's going on with the family?
Well, I think the only thing that would bring me out of Paris is trying to protect my family if they need me,
Hmm.
you know, because we still left Diana behind. So having to do that and pursue that and follow my heart, you know, is a bittersweet moment because it's hard to do that with knowing that my baby sister is by herself.
Your baby sister was developing into carrying Monet's crown at the end, and I'm just you watched the Power, OG Power, right? Was you like a fan?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So this would be interesting. Give it at the end of the episode. Who do you think Tariq got a phone call from?
I know a lot of the speculation is Tommy.
No way.
A lot of people feel like it was Tommy that called him. I don't know. I that phone call. I don't know. Like from OG Power, I don't know. Yeah, like Councilman Tate, maybe. That's all I got. Like I'm like, I don't know, either one of those two.
Councilman Tate is a good one. I knew it couldn't have been Tommy because I'm like, hold up. Tommy's calling Tariq, who he just had to save to show up with the guns. Nah, that doesn't make sense. But what does make sense is your sister Diana. Diana may have cracked the case, found out something of who tried to kill her mother. Even though Monet's dead, that's unfinished business because no one released the fact that it was Tasha. So let's just say she's she's accepting the crown of where her mother was, and that phone call was to Diana. That's who I think it was. Because why would he go to Chicago to save Tommy? Unless he needs to set up a complex operation with money and stuff. He doesn't. Tommy don't need extra guns from Tariq. So that was like a little gaslighting. And speaking of gaslighting, the whole last season, they were gaslighting the fact that Ghost might make a return. And I know that got to be annoying because, like, all of y'all are in the show, but everyone still wants to know about Ghost. But they gaslighted the entire fourth season to make you feel like he was coming back. Everything from people mentioning his name, like Zion, to the press conference with Tasha. That's not her name. I gotta get out Naturi, where she did a press conference and she said, "Don't worry, by the end of the season, everybody will get exactly what they want. Everybody will be happy." So like these keywords and people are just waiting. I don't. Are you in any of these like chat rooms or group chats and stuff on Power? No. Facebook has a huge one, and you wouldn't believe the way they come up with these ideas of what's going to happen next and this. When Naturi let that out, and then when Zion said what he said, we all went back to old Courtney interviews. I was one of them. I had to figure out because Courtney kept said something that never got answered. They was like, "Hey, does Ghost have a sister?" So she said, "No, not a sister," and left it like that. So the whole season, I'm trying to figure out who's his brother. How are you about comic books? Like, do you like comic books? Do you like the let's just say the superhero villain world? Like, how are you about that?
I love that stuff. I didn't grow up reading comic books like religiously. I more so like watch the cartoons. So nice. I grew up on how they remade X-Men 97, like
yes,
to get all my lore information and that was like kind of my favorite platform. I was a TV watching kid before I started reading.
No, I feel you on that. So if you did grow up on that, who was like your favorite character?
Wolverine was my favorite. I loved Cable, and I loved Carnage, to be honest with you. I love Carnage because my favorite color is red, so I loved just that he was like the red symbiote, and it was like dope. Now and like with maturity, like when I was a kid growing up, I played the Punisher games.
Nice.
The side scroller. That was like my favorite game to play growing up. And I love the Punisher. So when they brought out the movie, I was like, yo, I gotta watch that. It was crazy.
Yes.
The Netflix series was crazy. So I was just like, I love the Punisher, and I loved Blade. Loved
Nice.
loved Blade.
Nice.
Blade, I was a fan through and through of Blade. Like to this day, still am. Like it's one of the
Yeah,
it's,
yeah, I still watch it. Like I was so happy to
yeah.
see him come back in Deadpool, bro. Like
Yes.
that
Yes.
made, and when he ran through that, man, I ran up the aisle, man. The energy, I ran up the aisle, man. I couldn't. Blade, we needed that, man. Like
Yep, for sure.
his mind is amazing. So, with that being said, if you could play any character, Marvel or DC, what would you do?
So there's two.
Mm.
And this is probably bad. I'm a Christian boy. But
We all
my
love the Lord, bro. We Christian here, man. We
amen,
got a
man.
lot in
Amen.
common, bro. We here.
Well, my favorite characters are often the darker characters, the anti-heroes. So
Mm-hmm.
I would love to play Blade, but Wesley Snipes said there's only one Blade, so I'm a chill on that.
You
Or
saw Ryan Reynolds' face when he said that too, right? You
I
saw
did. Or Spawn.
From Michael J. White. That was the original Spawn we had on there.
Yes, but like live action, yes. But Keith David was the voice.
Mm,
Cartoon,
yeah,
Keith David was the voice of that. And I don't know if you play Mortal Kombat, but they brought him back in
absolutely.
Mortal Kombat in Mortal Kombat 11, and it was Keith David again doing the voice. My gosh, it
That's
brought back
amazing.
so much nostalgia. But as the movie, Michael J. White going like just I should not have been watching that as a kid, but I definitely did.
Everyone
And
snuck in. All right. So you had the Christian mom like every Sunday. Okay, so I was in that too, bro. Like I realized we have like a lot in common, other than the fact that you have hair and I don't. But that's why this is on, But nah. So you're an Aquarius.
Mhm.
So am I. You're
All right.
February 3rd. I'm the 4th.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yo, so when I looked this up, I was like, yo, get out of here. That's nuts. You're half Jamaican and Guyanese.
Uh-huh.
I'm half Jamaican, but my dad says I'm Jamaican because I ain't got no traits from his side. Like I hear it every time. Like I just don't have the accent, and when I try it, it just pisses him off. And my girl's Guyanese, so I was like, "Yo, there's a lot of vibage going on in here that I got a chance
Yes,
to say."
indeed. That's
Because
amazing.
yeah, that's fire, bro. Like I was like, "Yo, that's why he's so cool." You know, I was like, it's just the Aquarius in us, man. We have this in us.
Wow,
But
I
no,
appreciate it. Yeah.
don't feel don't feel crazy about that, man. Because I had to sneak and watch the Spawn too, because you
Yeah.
just needed to see what me. It was like my cousins was and I had to sneak and watch it behind them, like just to see what it
Yep.
was. But nah, Spawn was and Blade. I could see that, bro. I could see it. You know what else I could see for you? Because you like complex characters, right? All right, let's play with this. Bishop, bro,
Funny for
time
saying Bishop.
traveling.
You're so funny for saying Bishop because Bishop was the next one I was gonna say. Bishop, yeah, that would be incredible. Bishop would be crazy. But my beef is that they haven't done a proper X-Men anyways. Like the movies they did, like I feel like X-Men needs a TV series.
Yes, yes,
Like not
yes.
a movie because you have these like complex storylines that you're trying to fit into one movie, but it takes place over like you have whole sagas is the dark. You can't put
Yes.
that into 90 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
You
So
you can't.
this time traveling aspect, you can't explain in 1-2 movies.
No,
You
you
got to put
don't.
that in like that's the arc for the season or like half the season at best.
Yes. All right. All right. But
You know what I'm
listen,
saying?
but you can do what like Marvel likes to play. They like to play little chef. Like when your mom step out the kitchen, you taste it. You're like, no, we put a little bit something extra in it. That's what Marvel does. So they'll take that character and just break them off into each and every movie until you finally get the culmination. But we do need like this is what I would have loved if at the end of X-Men 97 some way somehow they got into some portal situation, and as they walked through the portal and they walk into our live world. So you just see like just the feet and the costume just walking. I would have lost it. I would have lost it because
That
then
would
you
be
just cast. You leave
yeah,
us like that and you just cast. But
yeah,
but like that's why we got the reset coming up. All right, the
yeah.
reset coming up right now is definitely the Secret Wars because we gotta reset everything because we got mutants that were here in another universe, and then we have these people that come from. It's too much going on, you know. It's too much going on. So are you excited for possibly finally seeing the Fantastic Four again on screen? I don't know. Like
I only watched the first one. I never watched the second one. Fan Four Stick. I never watched. I never watched that. But so I'm excited to see them back again if they're done right. You know, Robert Downey Jr. is playing Doctor Doom, so that's a legendary. Like, that's gonna be
yes,
wonderful to see. Like, you know, how they utilize him. Um, I'm excited. I'm excited. But what's predominantly on my mind is an X-Men TV series
yes.
because I was watching, like, growing up, I watched the X-Men, and
Mhm.
so I started watching it again because now I'm an adult, and I'm like, let me see if I understand this properly. Seeing Wolverine's personality, seeing how Cyclops is actually a really good leader, and that he should probably just be the leader of the X-Men. And like instead of it making about like we're gonna zoom in on Wolverine, let's actually zoom in on X-Men, Havoc, his whole family. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes,
there's so
yes,
much you can mine from this. And then
yes.
the love triangle between him and Jean, like it's all there. So I'm like, the only thing you got to iron out is the time travel stuff to make it more like linear and more specific.
Yeah.
Because in the cartoon, they were just doing that for fun. It was like in this episode, like a time traveler comes out of nowhere, like you know, like so I was like, all right, like let's keep it more, like let's hone in on it more and like make it more specific. But that I would love to see and be a part of an X-Men series, and play
Mhm.
Bishop would be absolutely fire. That'd be
Yeah, because
incredible.
you'll be able to bring in everything. Because I like even the people you pick and liking the as you like to say the anti-heroes, that just means that there's always a side, like you said, that needs to be let out, bro. And Bishop will be that person that allow you to channel that in. Why don't you ever go to like a Comic Con dressed up as Bishop? Someone got casted like that before,
That's a
if
good
I'm not
idea.
mistaken.
That's a good
There's
idea.
one coming up this weekend. like,
I'm out of town this weekend. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I won't be back until December.
uh,
Um, but no,
going back home.
yeah, yeah. But this is actually the second time I heard about that this was being mentioned. So I'm like, I gotta make it out today. I went to Comic Con in San Diego this year.
Yeah,
So
I saw there was like a post about it. I was like, yo,
yeah, I'd be fire. Actually, you know what I really want, what I really want to do, because I'm not making my own costume. I'm not. That's not my skill set. I have to find someone to make one for me.
I know somebody who's made the costumes for Alicia Keys last year and the family. Like he's actually from the Bronx too. That's where I'm from. Like
All right. So
so if
then
you
you
ever
gotta
need
connect
that,
me
I
with
will
that person.
plug it in.
Yeah,
I will definitely put the plug
because I need. So my big dream has been to cosplay as Liu Kang.
in. Ooh.
Because as time has gone on, his costumes have gotten crazier and crazier. That I'm like, this would be like just to embody this, to like walk around Comic Con, and not have to worry about like I'm black. I don't have to worry about playing like Shaolin monk. I just have to just dress the part. You know what I'm saying? It's just to dress the part, and you understand who I am.
Yes.
And because I've gone to Sub Zero before, not to Comic
Mm,
Con for Halloween, but and my boy did Raiden, and because
nice.
Mortal Kombat has a comic book, so um, so they kind of blend the worlds a little bit uh when it comes to going to Comic Con, because like when I was at San Diego,
Mhm.
they did a soft announcement of a game that I've been like uh of a game that I've been like waiting for them to bring back for years.
All right.
And
Well,
I
what's this
missed
game?
there's this game when we were kids. I love vampires. So that's why I
Mhm.
Blade. But there's
Understand. Understand.
when we were kids called Blood Omen Legacy of Kain. And it was a weird, obscure game made by Crystal Dynamics back in the day. But PS1 days, so like Crystal Dynamics is gone now and all that stuff. But at the time, it was a really big and innovative game. It was like a top-down. The first one was a top-down, and then it branched off into Soul Reaver.
Wait, I know Soul Reaver. Okay.
Yeah, so it was like that world is all that world, right?
They all connected.
It's a Legacy of Kain world, and it's like they made their own thing.
Oh,
And
this game. Okay. All right.
yeah,
It was bugging with me because I know I played something like that. All right, go ahead.
and at Comic-Con they announced that is coming. Like they put the toys, they put the toys together, and they were like, these are like the updated toys based off of like what we in 2024, and everyone was like, yo, if you're gonna bring this game back, that's gonna be like, you know what I mean? That's gonna be crazy because then you can go to the Comic Con, the New York Comic Con. You can go to dress up as Raziel. You can dress up as Kane. You can dress up as anyone from that world. It's just like every time I think about comics and I think about where our place as Black people is in comics, I think about how much our consciousness has been expanded in terms of what a comic narrative is, because when someone is making a new comic, they don't just think about, I want to make a comic just to read like I was a kid. They're like, no, this is going to branch off to the TV series, the book series, the movie series, this, that, so it's like the game, you know what I mean? It's all connected. So my mind always goes super crazy, but dressing up as Bishop would be like a really, I never thought of that, so it'd be a really good idea to test out one of these years for sure.
Yo, bro, are you leaving tomorrow?
I'm leaving Friday.
Tomorrow's the first day of New York Comic Con.
I'm not gonna be able to make that. My schedule is way too packed up.
Bro, I was about to say I have my press pass. I was about to like, yo, because like for you even like sharing your time with me, man, and I know it's like it's precious because you have your wife, you have family, you have your craft of honing that you just don't have free time for everybody. So like the fact you shared it with me, I was like, yo, maybe you just want to go to Comic Con, man. I'll let you hold the press pass down.
Well, I'll link you up next year then for it.
Yo,
if God willing, I'm here next October. That's what I'm doing.
All right, link. That's perfect. That's perfect. I love that.
I appreciate the invitation too. I'd be super down to go.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Nah, man, because like I realized that Comic Con that I started going to all of them. The only one I haven't been to is San Diego, and that's what I'm planning to go next year. But I've been to Chicago. I've been to New York. So New York has a bunch. The Brooklyn Comic Con, Anime Comic Con, and now New York. I go every year, bro. It's like a great thing, and I get a chance to run into people like Bruce Leroy. I ain't never gonna see him again on TV.
Wow!
And when I saw him, I lost it. I just couldn't help myself. I walked by, I said, "Leroy." Like that's another one. Like with all the creativity we have, we could have brought that back. The Last Dragon, like have Tay-Mac now be the teacher of the next generation, and then have that go. They brought back.
I do mind to bring that back too, The Last Dragon.
Yeah, they brought back Cobra Kai.
If not that same story, the spirit of that, because I feel like that's what's missing these days. Like you have John Wick, and then you have nothing in between, and it always goes to guns. It always goes to guns, right? Like it always goes to like that kind of combat. But what about the sanctity of the dojo and the art of like the hand-to-hand combat style? Like that's why Karate Kid was so successful. That's why you can have a Cobra Kai now. That's why you have The Last Dragon, and the things about Bruce Lee's movies and Jackie Chan's movies, and these like it was an influx of that influence back in the day. But I think we're missing that now because The Last Dragon was, what was that, the 90s that came out, of the 80s? Right?
I think it was like the end of the 80s.
Let's be accurate here. And that was something that took us as Black people by storm.
Yes, everybody.
A friend of mine told me that like people were really fighting like at the movie theaters. Like it was like my squad is gonna beat your squad, and like like that kind of stuff. That when Homeboy walked into the theater and was like, you know what I mean? Like that whole like like whose kung fu is better than mine, that kind of
Who's the
energy.
greatest? Show enough. Who's
You know
the
what I'm saying?
Yes.
Who was coming in with people were actually doing that. So I'm like, okay, like we don't know that in real life, but how do we embody that again? How do we bring that art back? And people like Michael J. White are keeping it alive through kung
Yes.
fu movies. But I want to see some more of that. I want to see it back on the mainstream. I want to see some more of that for sure because it something about it feels good. Something about
Yes.
it feels like, yes, I beat this guy in a fight, and him getting up and going home and being like, I gotta practice is good enough.
Yes. I don't have
You're
to
not coming back trying to kill me and
exactly.
my family, and that's the end of the story. Like, no, it's enough to be like, there's pride, there's ego, there's the discipline, and we live to fight another day. Kind of how remember how Friday ended when he was like,
Yeah, you live to fight another day.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, bro.
yeah,
They don't
yeah. That's just
they
my
don't
like my
cherish life no more.
yes.
They
We
don't
really
cherish life.
cherish
It's
life.
so easy to like kill someone off, but I feel like there's a lot of growth in that loss. Like I don't mind taking a loss as long as I learn from it. It's either a lesson or a blessing. That's how I look at things. But like they don't have that too much. It's like now you get defeated, you become really defeated. You become really angry. You want to you want to wipe out the guy and his whole family.
Yeah, man,
I'm
you
like,
gotta be
what?
on that.
Like, what? Leave grandma alone. Like, leave her alone. Like, you like they're amazing. They're amazing out here, bro.
Yeah,
Like, I
man.
love it. Listen, I don't want to take up too much of your time, bro. I don't know what you got going on. I knew in my head I would love to squeeze out 30 minutes to an hour from you. But I love the fact I got a chance to vibe out with you on comic book stuff. I wanted to give you like a little bit of a different interview than all the ones I've seen. Drew is
Oh
a
yeah.
power. Drew's a powerful character, bro. I won't deny that. But just like Amari said, and just like he was explaining this, it's the person behind it that brings it to life. Like you have to put yourself through a lot to create that person to someone that we like. So that's why even in my mind, like I told you, and I will say it, on camera, like I love everybody in Power, although Diana like rubbed me wrong, but the actress that you would have to be to do that to me, and I know that like I know this is a show like powerful. That's why
Yeah.
there's so much connection between her and Tariq to me. Like that,
Yep.
they're the same person. One wanted to know too much, one didn't want to know anything, and still
Yeah.
ended up in the game at the end. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely
I'm,
right. That's testament to Michael Rainey Jr., testament to Latoya, because they are like they care about their craft and they're just wonderful artists all around.
but testament to the fact of who Lovell Adams-Gray is. Put respect on this man's name, man. Like
I appreciate
respect
it,
on
man.
his name. That the end, like the whole season 4, and it's not because we're doing the interview now. It was literally you. Like it was you. It was you showing every step. Even when Kane did that little BS with you, with taking the fight club from you. Even the way
Mhm.
you one upped him, like the way you did it, could not. I was like, yo, this is him. The whole season 4 is about him. And a random phone call, because that's all I remember. I was like, yo, Dru killed this, and whoever Tariq is talking to, he gonna show up. That's it. That's it. I have my own situations that I wish I could speak to like the writers and know their process. And I'm gonna be looking out for them in the future because I just don't know why they did that to Brayden. Like you're just
Mm,
trying to turn him into Tommy. There's no other
mm,
option. Like that's why I
mm.
felt like there had to be another season. It was
Right,
so many
right, right.
unanswered stuff. We don't know what happened to Celine. Like just that was it. He was your sister's boyfriend. He's dead. Move on. She has another man. We
Yep.
don't know, even dating back to OG Power, what's going on with Joe Proctor's daughter. She left. When we left, she was in charge of stuff and let
Oh yeah.
Tommy lead life. Like there's so much that could have been. What happened to Lauren? Like she just looked back at the screen and said, I'll never be kidnapped again, and then left. And then
Yep.
like that was just it. Like there was a lot. So I felt like there could have been another one. I also feel that maybe 50 is just ending things so everyone
Mhm.
can pursue their other stuff respectfully. But once he gets his little streaming service back up, we probably gonna get a power movie. That's my ideas, man.
That'd be
And
dope, man. That'd
it
be
would
dope.
be dope. It would be dope. And I just want everyone to know like that is gonna watch this. Ghost is dead, and Ghost cannot come back. He can only come back under one situation though. I just leave with this one. Just because you're a fan of Power, I have in my mind exactly how Ghost comes back, and there's only one way. Tasha would have to die. I'm not saying nothing bad about her, but look at this. The way those two left, Bearded Ghost was putting hands on her. He was getting threatened and got shot by his son. When the entire time, if you look at what he wanted to keep Tariq out of this. And he ended up following in the same footsteps anyway. So put that two and two together. Tasha would have to not be there for Tariq to be fully on his own. Then put himself in the presence of actual problems. I see it. Tariq is sad at the gravesite. You see a figure walk up behind him while he's crying, like, now you gonna listen? And he turned around and it's Amari Hardwick. Then that's how you start the whole movie. It's the only way he comes back. Tasha would have to go. There can't be two parents in it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully would the writers see this interview and take that into consideration.
Bring him back. Bring this guy back. Yo, but once again, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for your energy, for your wisdom, and for your love and your passion that you put through the character of Dru. Thank you. I can't wait to see. Matter of fact, let people know whatever you got coming up next. Like anything that you got going on next where they could link with you. Just let people connect with the king himself.
Our film Morningside drops next year, February, in theaters, and it's going to be. We're having a premiere next week. It's already sold out, which is really, really amazing.
Nice.
Be a good one. And I'm it's I get to speak in my mother tongue, which is gonna be fun.
Let's go.
And I got a movie coming out next year called Mayday, with Ryan Reynolds, and that's gonna be a fun one.
King, I cannot wait to see more, man. It is a pleasure. But since you gave your time here, whenever I run into you again, all right, because I told you I did research, and they did say one of the people, like they said that one of the people that you were cool with, that you did like was Spider-Man, along with everybody else. Just like his story in itself, just the idea of Peter Parker juggling his interpersonal stuff, being a human, and then him having these superhuman abilities. So for, giving me your time, I don't know if you ever had one of these, but boom.
Oh, wow.
So this is the one where Luke Cage, because I know you into us black people and stuff like that, and Spider-Man. It's also a connection for me where this is the only story that they hold the cover and they went to the Bronx. This is like historic because the Bronx was burning years and years before I was born. So luckily I wasn't around that, but they were burning down. So this is the only story where they got together and went there. So I have this for you. I wanted to gift it to you for your time because you could have been anywhere else, but you spent your time with me, and I greatly appreciate that, bro.
Thank you. I received that, man. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. I'll email you, let me know how to send it to you or how to run into you or drop it, whatever.
All right. Most definitely. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you, man.
Lovell, thank you so much for your time, bro. I appreciate you, bro. God bless you, King.
God bless you. Take care.
Take care, King. Awesome.